How do you value various assets on a divorce? Do you need to have them all valued? My name is Ali Carter. I am the founder of Mediate UK, and hopefully I'm going to be answering that question for you today. So the biggest asset that most people have is going to be their property, and there's three main ways to value this. So the first way is accepted by the courts, is you get three independent estate agents to come round, value the house, and you take the average of those three. Why three? Because they can change significantly, especially for houses that are a bit unique or a bit higher up in value. My mother's house, when we had to sell that, there was about £400,000 difference between the top and the bottom figure, and that can make a huge difference to your financial agreement. You can pay for a chartered surveyor to come around and give an exact valuation. You only need one of those. The difference is that you have to pay for it, and it's usually a joint instruction, so there can't be any sort of try and give us the best value or the worst type conversations there, and that is usually done where really you just cannot agree, or in particular if a property is particularly unique or different or unusual in some way. And then finally, you can just agree between yourselves. If you say, yep, we only bought the house a year ago, it was purchased for 500,000, we think it's still worth 500,000, we're both in agreement with that, that's fine as well. So those are the three ways normally to value a property. Just a quick word, be careful of online valuations on things such as Zoopla. They can be helpful as a guide, but they can be hundreds of thousands of pounds out, and they wouldn't normally be accepted as one of your free estate agent values. What else is a big asset? Usually a pension. So, you know, if you've been working in the public sector or private sector even for a long period of time, you could have, you know, a significant value to your pension. It is not the amount that you're going to be paid out in retirement each year. It is the value of the pot that then pays out and feeds that retirement amount that you have to get valued. If you ask your pension company, you ask for something called a cash equivalent value, a CEV, and they have to provide that with you. They have to give you one free per year, and they have 3 months, unfortunately, to get that to you. Sometimes you can log in and find that figure straight away. Other times you have to contact them and write to them. It all depends on your pension company, and some of the public sector ones in particular can take a little while and have issues getting you that figure. So one of the things we recommend is, as soon as you are looking to do any sort of financial discussions on your divorce, is to ask for that figure as soon as possible from your pension fund. Yes, you will need all your pensions valued if you're looking to get a legally binding agreement, even if you don't think they should be an asset of a marriage or taken part. You've got to get them valued. Business can be significant and huge. It could be tiny as well. It all depends on the business. There are different ways of valuing those business. I'm going to let you have a look in the actual blog to drill down into those. But just remember, it's what you can agree. And normally as a first step, for the type of person who's running their own business that, you know, might be turning over you know, either just around the VAT threshold at sort of, you know, £90,000, or, you know, below £500,000 turnover, you can ask your accountant for a valuation and then have some discussions around that. But again, it has to be valued. You have to agree on that value. Next up is cars. Cars are normally quite easy to value. I suppose you could have one that's really old and has some extra value there because of its age, but for most you can go online and get the car valued. Be careful with We Buy Any Car type things. They tend to value it around about £1,000 less, or they tend to offer you about £1,000 less than the actual value, and that could muck up your figures later on. So use a guide such as Auto Trader or Parker's. They all have valuation calculators within them. And then finally, things like jewellery, possessions at home. You should value every item over £500 and list that on your financial disclosure, I know. So, but one thing usually is around art and jewellery, which can be significant. You can get an expert to come and value it, of course. You can agree the valuation between yourself. If you're struggling, have a look online, have a look on sites such as eBay, and you can search for sold prices. There may be an equivalent there, and if 3 or 4 similar types of jewelry have been sold, then or art, then you can use that as a guide to what it would sell for were you to sell it. So there's some things there, and again, it's all by agreement. Do I have to value everything? Yes, you do. Even if you've agreed it's not going to be counted as part of your divorce separation. Even if you say, I'm not going to touch her pension, or I'm not interested in her jewellery. If it's valued over £500, you have to disclose it for 3 reasons. One is you're signing a form to the court saying that you've disclosed everything over £500, and you could be committing contempt of court if you don't. 2 is it covers you, because you can't then come back in 5 years' time and say, well, you didn't include your business in the valuations. You can show that you did, so it makes sure that your legal agreement is legally binding. And 3 is it allows a full disclosure where everything is on the table. The judge can then confirm that you've got a fair agreement and sign it off into a legally binding order. So it's really important that you disclose everything, even if you've agreed in the next step, but you don't want to touch it. That's fine. That conversation is fine, but you've got to disclose it and have it valued. And I hope this has helped you to do so. All the best.